So, huge question this morning. Can you slow time down? Can we do that? We all complain that time sometimes moves too fast. I have two daughters, and I swear I blink and they have grown an inch. I want desperately to capture these awesome moments as they fly by, to slow down time. We're almost in a panic from how fast time is moving. My wife wrote on the last mark of our child's door jamb, no more, as in my daughter Enna is no longer allowed to surpass her mom's height. In a weird way, it's more about the speed of it all. My wife and I want to capture each silly moment and hold it and savor it so we don't miss it somehow. I would love to slow down time just for a bit. And I think it's actually possible to slow down time. I think that you can create intentional reflecting points, make memory markers to hold on to as time zips on by, and in some supernatural way, slow it down. I think that's why we gather, have holiday parties, and celebrate birthdays. It's not just to honor that event or that person. That's part of it. But it's also to remember, to mark time as a community. Some memory markers are intentional. You can plan an event and make it special by being thoughtful and creative. You can create a physically tangible event that represents what is going on in your heart. First Communion today is an example, or spoiling a mom on Mother's Day. By being thoughtful, you can elevate an event, an anniversary, birthday. And in some memory markers, they just happen. They're a surprise. Every fall, when I was a kid, while my great grandmother Marie was still alive, we would make a boatload of pierogies. Now, if you don't know what pierogies are, you're missing out. Go to a Polish deli and pick up a huge pile of them. They're little bite-sized dough dumplings filled with goodness. It's like eating a hug. And you can have meat-filled potato and cheese, cabbage, and bacon is my favorite. Or you can put strawberry or cherry preserves in, whatever you like. But every fall, my grandmother and I would fill the freezer with them and make enough to have a whole pile of people over. The thing was, she and I would be so full from taste testing while cooking that we could never eat during dinner. And I laugh thinking about it. We were so stuffed to the absolute gills by the time dinner came around. After she passed on, we held on to the freezer pierogies for years because we didn't want to lose that tangible reminder of those dinners. Now, funny enough, every time I eat pierogies, I'm instantly transported back in time, rooted to that memory marker. It's wonderful, almost supernatural how quick I can return to that memory. I can slow down time just for a second and live in another moment just by eating pierogies. Jesus used a ton of memory markers, stories, meals, and the clearest one imaginable, the cross. We gather each week online, in parking lots, and sometime soon in our building to be transported back in time and rooted to generations ago, to our ancestors that witnessed God's incredible love for the world. We take communion as a reminder of that event, a memory marker, a physically tangible event that represents the heart of God. That's why today is so important for our communicants. They're joining in centuries-old tradition of remembering Christ's beautiful act of love on the cross. His body broken for the world, his blood shed once and for all to make it amazingly clear that people are forgiven and they are loved. And we repeat it as often as we can so we don't forget. It's so easy to forget, isn't it? Not just to slow down time, but to remember how forgiven and loved we are. It's so easy to forget. We don't have to try to forget, it just kind of happens. So we gather and we remember what was done in love for us. We intentionally remember. We slow down time together on purpose. We eat bread and drink juice, a physical action with spiritual reverberations. In an instant, we are sent back through time and join with our spiritual forefathers. It's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? How interconnected we are throughout the centuries. I think it also makes the passage of time far less scary, intimidating. It doesn't seem so out of our control. By our very participation in this ritual, tradition, and celebration, we can slow down life just for a second and see how connected we are to generations past and future, and build onto a memory marker passed on from generation to generation.